What's up, y'all? Welcome to a new video. So as you guys know, I've had the Apple Watch Series 3 for a while. You've probably seen it in past videos, but I recently upgraded to the Series 6. Let's go over the specs and the differences between these two so I can give you a better picture. So the Apple Watch Series 6 currently retails for $399 at its base price. It comes in a 40 and 44 millimeter size. Always on display. It has the S6 processor in it. It also has the heart rate monitor, the blood oxygen monitor, which is new for this series, the ECG, which was introduced in the Series 5, and sleep tracking, as well as the same battery life, 18 hours, that the previous Apple Watches have had for a few years. The Series 3 retails for $199 in a 38 and 42 millimeter size. It does not have the always on display. It has the raise to wake, so I have to raise my wrist for it to turn on. It has the S3 processor in it. It does come with the heart rate, but it does not have the blood oxygen or ECG, and it does support sleep tracking and has the same 18-hour battery life. So based on these specs, there's really not that big of a difference between these two watches. And why I upgraded is I've had the Apple Watch Series 3 for a little over a year, maybe almost two. And one of the biggest things that really irked me about it was that it didn't have an always on display. So whenever I wanted to look at the time, I'd have to make this whole wrist gesture to look at the time, and sometimes it wouldn't work. So like, especially if I was doing small movements where I just kind of like flick my wrist really quickly, if my hand was just on the table, it wouldn't recognize that. So I would have to like do this whole big thing, or I'd have to tap on it, and first world problem, 100%, but it just kind of got annoying after a while. And I actually really like the health features that the Apple Watches are coming out with, especially the blood oxygen is not really personally for me, but the ECG is really cool, and the sleep tracking is really cool, especially for someone like me who struggles with sleep a lot. So that's good to know. And also the capacity in terms of storage is a big deal. I didn't mention that in the specs, but the S3 came with, the Series 3 came with 8 gigs of storage, while the Series 6 comes with 32. For a watch, you would think 8 gigs is enough, but actually the OS takes up a big portion of that. So you really only left with about 4 gigs to really work with. So when you download your workout playlist, and for some reason Apple still doesn't let you not have pictures on your Apple Watch, so no matter what, you have to have at least 25 pictures on there. So that gets annoying. And various apps that you want to use, especially companion apps that come with the iPhone app, so like Google Maps, stuff like that, it fills up really quickly. And so even getting it to update to watchOS 7, which is the newest one that's out right now, is very difficult. So that was kind of the list of things that made me switch over to the Series 6. And so I've had this one for I'd say about almost a week now, and my thoughts on it. So first things first, I came from a 38 millimeter Series 3 to a 44. I went for the larger size, and best decision in terms of size. I really like having this bigger size on my wrist. It makes it a lot easier to read things like from farther distances, and I can swipe on it and I can actually feel like I have a bigger screen to like kind of work with, especially when I'm using it for like navigation while I'm driving or something like that, and it's great. And the always on display is amazing. I didn't realize how big of a deal it would be, to be honest, but I just don't have to worry about like doing the whole annoying gesture and stuff like that. Like I just do a quick glance at my wrist, or boom, I know what time it is, or I see any notifications I have and stuff like that. That's great. The blood oxygen monitor, cool to have, not really for me. Plus I've seen a ton of people's reviews saying that it's not the most accurate. So your mileage may vary. If it works for you, great. But the ECG, not as useful for me, but again, cool to have. The heart rate monitor, had that on the Series 3. That's, I guess, cool to have, especially for when I'm working out and stuff like that. The sleep tracking, also, I do actually really like that. And since I had my Series 3 for so long, the overall battery capacity had really dropped. So in the settings on most Apple devices now, there's a battery health. So 100% meaning that your battery can support a full charge for its max capacity of the entire battery. And as that percentage goes down, that means your 100% charge may only be 85% of the actual battery because it's just aging. So your battery capacity is actually getting smaller and smaller. And so this one was around 89, 88%, which isn't too bad. It's about a 10% drop off. But it felt like it was more. I was noticing it die. Like, usually I'd be able to get through it about a day and a half with my use. Maybe even stretch it to 2 days if I'm really not doing too much with it. But it was like, at the end of the day, I would have like 20%, maybe, and then I'd wake up with 15. So it was like I basically got a day out of it because I'd have to charge it in the morning if I wanted to get any use out of it for the rest of the day. So that was kind of one of the reasons why I jumped up. And I also sprang for the solo band. So this is how I have to take it off now, which I don't mind. So basically it's just one long band that stretches out a lot instead of the clasp, which actually used to fall off if I was like moving too much or if it like rubbed up against something. So that was getting kind of annoying. This band does cost more. If you get it with the watch, I believe it's a $50 extra, but if you get it separately, I think it's about 100. Don't quote me on that. I believe that's correct. I love the band. There's a cheaper version of this band, which is not braided like this one is, for $50, but I think the braided one's a lot more comfortable. And if you do plan on getting this band, Apple does have a measurement tool on their website, but based on people's reviews, I've heard that it's pretty inaccurate. Some people, actually a lot of people, have said that they would order it and go through the measurement process, but the band would actually be too big. A lot of people have kind of came up with like a measurement saying whatever measurement Apple gives you when you do the measuring process, basically go down to, because you want it to be really snug on your hand so that it doesn't slide up and down anymore, because you can't size it after since it doesn't have the notches like a clasp does. So you got to get it right at that moment. And especially with if you get it wrong, I believe Apple just fixed this, but before, if you got it wrong, because it came with the watch, you'd have to return the entire thing, which means you wouldn't have your watch, instead of just turning in the band only and maybe using like a second, third party band or whatever you have. But I believe now you can just turn in the band and get that correct. So if you do want to get the solo loop band, I would definitely recommend going into an Apple store and having them size it and like trying on different sizes. If the Apple store near you is open, I know some places are closed. Maybe they'll be open by the time this video goes out. I really do enjoy this. I think it's fantastic. It's really comfortable. Plus, putting it on is so easy. I just do that and I'm good. I don't have to worry about it falling off and stuff like that. And as far as the water, you can get it wet. It absorbs water and everything. It doesn't get heavy like when it absorbs water, so that's pretty good. And overall, this isn't a full review. This is kind of more so my impressions of how long I've had it. I don't plan on doing a complete review because, it's an Apple Watch. Not really much to say. The fitness features are great. I've been using them recently, trying to get back into it, trying to get back into the groove of things. And I love having the extra storage. I don't really have to worry about updates like not fitting on there. I'm still pretty conservative with the apps I download on my watch and like the things I just keep downloaded on it, just because there's not really much that I want on here besides like Google Maps and a few different apps, but most of the time I use the stock apps that come with it and like notifications and stuff like that. And yeah, let me know if you guys want a full review on the Apple Watch. I can definitely do that. And let me know if you guys still have an Apple Watch, Series 3, Series 2, and how's it working out for you? Are you planning on upgrading? If you have a Series 5 or 4, I honestly don't think the Series 6 is worth the upgrade. You probably could wait until the 7, maybe 8 if they don't really do too much for the next few years. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video, subscribe for some more videos. Follow me on social media if you'd like to get some updates, or tweet me some ideas for new videos and stuff like that. And I'll talk to you guys later.